So, in SpongeBob fashion, 12 hours later, they are all off. Now, so I sprayed all of this with plaster. Plaster is your friend. Obviously, you don't want it on any of the new pads or the new rotor, because that would be bad. But now comes the fun part. This may or may not work. It may take time for it to soak in too. Booyah! Just like that. Easy peasy. No special tool. Just a sledgehammer. Make sure that you do not hit these though. That would be bad. Alright. And if you think that you are going to hit those, put these on it like this. Put those all the way around. The lug nuts all the way around. And then bang on it. You want to bang on it here, 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 and here. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. It just takes some pressure. And that's it. As far as the breaker is done. Now we got the blood. Beautiful, beautiful. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. Oh. You see, it's so pretty. Oh, and that's the new rotor. Callahan brakes, which is kind of funny because Mr. Callahan was from Black Sheep with Chris Farley. Voila. Easy peasy. Now, put 12 hours later. This time it's a little bit easier. Because you just gotta get something like this. Oh, yeah. These just essentially keep the rotor on where it's supposed to be, that's all. And you can do it any way you deem necessary. The guy is working in Crocs. I know, right? Like I said, any way you feel is necessary is how you can do things. But you do want them out there. You're just trying very hard not to hit the threads. Almost there. And that's pretty much all that there is to replacing your rotors. And yes, make sure that when you buy new rotors, it will say something like that. This is from passenger side. They have to be in the right place. Because the way that the rotor turns and the way that the grooves are cut and the holes are cut, it's circular. On purpose. Not just for looks. The Callahan brakes. Who would have thought, right? Okay, so now we got to do this crazy thing. And you're asking yourself, why on earth would you go through all this trouble? The brake pads that I got from AutoZone were too small. And what happens is they wore into the rotor not properly. Now, if you're not very good mechanically inclined or whatnot, make sure you take pictures of everything that you're doing. Take pictures of the rotor, take pictures of the caliper, take pictures of how these came off, because you're not going to be able to go back and be like, oh, well, I don't remember how that goes, or, you know, because there's little clips and they have to be on the proper way, and if you forget, that's really bad. So just take pictures and try to keep all of your hands and gooiness off of the pads and off of the rotors. So first, we put the caliper plate back on, which is what we're doing now. Works right. And if something doesn't feel right, don't force it. You should, when you're working on things like this, you should always hand tighten. Hand tighten until it gets tight to the point where you can't hand tighten it. And there is a very good reason why to do that, because if you can hand tighten it to the point of when it's to its end, you know that you put it in right. If you try to use a socket wrench or a electric thing or whatever, you won't know if you have it on right. And then, that would be bad, because that would be very expensive. All because of a bolt that you thought was on right, and it wasn't. Okay, now I actually have to use this thing to the way it's supposed to be used. What fun is that? I know. Alright, that's good. That clicking tells me that I'm where I need to be. That's good. That is set to 180 pounds. Now we're going to push the little, we are going to push these brake pads together by hand, like so. All right, so we're sitting really good up against the rotor. Now we're going to take a C-clamp, which is this right here, and we're going to close these, we're going to move them in. Now the problem is when you move one in too far, the other one comes out. So it's pretty much a guessing game. You have to be, well, careful with it. And because you want it to fit like softly, like, woo, you know what I mean? Okay. So let's see if I can. Probably can't, but nope. Oh yeah, I can. Perfect. So we take our C-clamp, we put it on like so. Hang on, I'm gonna put it on top of the rotor. When you're doing this stuff by yourself, it's really easy to just crank it out. All right, so put the phone back to where it is. Ooh. BN. These are our pistons to the caliper. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna close the pistons. Or at least we'll try. So we're gonna go all the way with one. And that is why you took your cap off your brake fluid, because you're pushing fluid back up. And if it has nowhere to go, it'll blow something like this. Now this one will do the same thing until that one moves out. And it's pretty much a guessing game. That one's in, and we gotta bounce back to this one. As far as we can go. Now we're going to take the caliper and we're going to put it back up. And everything goes well. If you've done it right. Which obviously I have not, because it's just being a pain. So we're going to take the top bolt. We're going to put the top bolt in the caliper mount. So the caliper is held. So the top one is good, and the bottom one is a little bit off. So we're going to push it in with the C-clamp just a wee bit, and then it should move on. Like so. Ta-da! Easy peasy. And that's it. That is how you change your brake pads and your rotors on the 2017 Dodge 2500. I hope you guys have a great day. Much love. Bye.